AB. Sit back and enjoy. This is The Blue Hour.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? Welcome to The Blue Hour with yours truly, AB, man. Hey, I'm here with another video today, looking to bring some insight and understanding to some topics that I find very important. I believe I probably started thinking about these about a week ago when I was going through some times where my mind was a little bit, I was struggling to kind of feel, how you say, peace in the midst of some of these things that I was thinking about. And so I said, you know, why not come and bring forth some of these things to help other people out? And so tonight we have two topics that I like to talk about. Number one, learn how to communicate effectively. I'll put it right below right here, AB. Learn how to communicate effectively. Now, before we talk about that, actually, I like to get a little off topic every now and then. I'll let you know I got a nice little chocolate cake here. Hold up, let me show y'all what we're dealing with real quick. I think last time I was munching on I had watermelon, and now tonight I was just like, you know, I need something a little bit sweeter. Hold on, look at that. Ooh, ooh, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So like I said, learn how to communicate effectively. So you might be wondering, okay, what does this mean? This is a pretty broad topic, in fact, because communication is key. In fact, at the college I go to, I'm a sophomore student, and I double major right now in business and communication, because communication is essential to life in all aspects, and especially when it comes to how you relate with other people. This could be your friends, this could be your future wife or your husband. It doesn't matter who it is. We need to be able to communicate effectively, because if you can't communicate, then how is somebody going to understand where you're coming from? As somebody who is I'd like to say I'm pretty in touch with my emotions. I usually know where I'm at and how I'm feeling about stuff. Nobody can read your mind. You have to be able how to explain it to somebody else. And so whenever I'm feeling frustrated or feeling like, okay, there's something that, you know, I got going into my mind, it doesn't make sense to hold on to that for yourself, because if something's going on with somebody else and it's something that they're making you feel or something that you need them to kind of help you fix, it is impossible for somebody to help you with something if they don't know what the problem is. And I know from personal experience, I've been in relationships with people who struggled to bring to me the things they kind of maybe thought I wasn't doing so well or thought I could improve on, or maybe they were going through something and needed a shoulder to lean on, but they didn't know how to ask for that shoulder, or they didn't know how to articulate how they were feeling. And a lot of that doesn't come from the fact that we don't know how we feel. We just don't know how to communicate how we're feeling. A lot of relationships break up not because two people don't love each other, but because they argue or they go through stuff. And the problem is the argument goes from a simple, miscommunication or a simple error in somebody's judgment. And next thing you know, it's a big blow up and people are breaking up, all because somebody didn't communicate effectively. All it takes is, somebody to say one wrong thing, and next thing you know, a simple conversation over something that somebody didn't like turns into a big old argument and fight. And a lot of that comes not because what the person or whatever you're fighting about was such a big deal, but a lot of times it comes because you didn't communicate in an effective way. When you're angry with somebody, it can be very, when you're upset, you really can't allow your initial feelings to be the words that come out. And a part of that's a big part of communicating effectively is, when you're going through a time when you're very emotionally expressive and you want to say the first thing on your mind, or the first thing on your heart, sometimes you got to be able to say, okay, I know how I'm feeling right now, but maybe it's for the best that I don't say this, or you have to really take a moment before you press that send button to read what you're saying and think about how somebody is going to respond to what you say. I mean, for me, this is what I do. So I really hate when I'm typing something to somebody and they're popping in the chat, or I feel like they're sitting there reading, because for me, it kind of puts pressure on me to respond quickly, or like it makes me feel a little uncomfortable and uneasy. So for what I do is sometimes I go to my notes and I'll just type out what I want to say, especially if I have a real long thing to write. In fact, let me tell you, I'm sure I probably go to my phone, like I'll put the person's name that I'm sending it to at the top, and I like write it. It's almost like I'm writing them a letter, and I'll just copy it, I paste it into the chat or whatever, and I'll send it to them. Because for me, communicating effectively is, I really want you to get where I'm coming from and where I'm coming with. Because if someone's not understanding you, the only way they'll get it is if you tell them, I feel like most problems people have don't come from what the situation is, but the way they conversate over the situation. Because a lot of trouble comes from people not understanding why something happened how it did, or not understanding why you feel this way. And it's not because how you feel isn't valid, but maybe the way you explained didn't truly articulate what validates your point. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can have the most valid reason to feel how you feel, but because of how you relay the information, or you relay your story, your side of whatever's going on, you can kind of come off as if you're the bad guy just because you're not doing a great job at articulating the conversation. But a big part of that is the de-escalation aspect of communication. I mean, you have to be able to, that's the big reason why before I press send, I always read, because I look at what I say. Because you could have a fantastic, I'm telling you, guys, listen to me. When you are sending a text to a woman, look, it does not matter how much great things you have in that text. If there is one thing in there that might infuriate her, all the good stuff you said is gone. I can remember in old past times, I'm texting the girl, man, I'm like, oh girl, but I love you, but it's just this and that, and see, all the I love you stuff could be all good, and she's all smiley, and all she got to see is one thing she don't like, and boom, next thing you know, she'll focus on that one point. You know what I'm saying? And so while what you're saying may not be wrong, a lot of what it comes down to in these things is what you're saying can be as accurate as possible. You know what I'm saying? Not every time, it's not about being right all the time. Sometimes it's about finding a way to say the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be right, but also not have to say a thing that's going to escalate the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, a lot of us want to be right in arguments. A lot of us want to be right in these situations and aren't thinking about, okay, but how can I also de-escalate it? You know what I'm saying? Because yes, you prove your point. You want to prove your point, but there are ways to prove points without pushing it and shoving it in somebody's face, almost like you're making them like, oh, but you're the bad person, you're the wrong one. You know what I'm saying? And even though they may be in the wrong, you feel what I'm saying? There's ways to go about communicating that. But communicating effectively is so much more than just in arguments. It should be easily understood how you feel towards somebody else through the way, I almost said else. I've been hanging around all these country people up here, man. It should be easily communicated how you feel about somebody else. All right, yeah, cut that. That was bad. You and whoever you're communicating with, it should be easily understood what's going on in between you two. Now, I'm definitely talking about relationships here. So listen here, if you're somebody who's in a relationship, thank God, make sure you keep this going on. But if you're somebody who's single, or you're looking at a relationship, you're talking to somebody, y'all have to be willing to communicate as you go forward, like where both of you are in the process. Because again, the biggest struggle for people is when somebody in their mind is thinking, okay, what are we? And the other person is not like truly giving an answer where they're at. And that's why it's so important to be able to communicate that and have a clear understanding. I just want to start here and move forward from there. But if you say that, you know what I'm saying, it's great. Make sure that while you do that, you don't just leave the person thinking that you're just going to be stuck there forever. Because again, going forward again, you have to be willing to communicate. Okay, when are you ready to make the next step? What do you want the next step to look like? Set boundaries. That's a big part of communication. What boundaries do you have for yourself? As a Christian, I know for myself, anytime I've ever began to look to find interest in a woman, my first thing is, okay, I'll be honest with you, premarital sex, off limits for me. There's certain things I do not say, things I will never do that, other people do. And you know what I'm saying? You gotta be clear about your boundaries. Now, I really rarely ever have to lay those boundaries out anymore, because most times when people meet me, they just know that's what it is now. But when I first started moving like that, I mean, I had to set those boundaries and make it verbal, because again, while I was holding, I was trying to let them know, I was also holding myself accountable. Because if I go ahead and lay out my intentions and what's going on from the beginning, you know what I'm saying, that protects them. Because then think about this, right? Imagine you don't put out boundaries and all these things in front of people before, and then they go and they cross a boundary that you have. You can't be mad at them and want to cut somebody off because they crossed a boundary that you never let be known was a boundary. In all aspects of communications, no matter who you're talking to. And I've really been prefacing relationships as in dating and so on, because those are kind of the biggest areas where communication can go bad. You just need to make sure that you're your thoughts, your feelings, wherever you are, whatever you're thinking is communicated effectively. Don't ever leave anybody, any room to assume. That's the biggest thing about communication. Clear up assumptions. Do not leave room for assumptions. Assumptions will kill any relationship, because the moment somebody assumes something and that, or expects something and it's not met, or maybe a line is crossed, then there's going to be problems. But if you go ahead and you kind of clarify or bring some type of closure to an understanding that somebody needs to have, you make it so much easier to go forward and maybe overcome an obstacle that may have been, because you already go ahead and clear it up. That is what really is important about communicating effectively. It's, like making things clear, because when things are clear and clarified, you already have a good understanding of where things are at. So that's really what I want y'all to grasp about communicating effectively. And that last point specifically, like genuinely, because you do not leave any room for assuming, because as a guy, I'll let you know, girls will assume. Man, girls will assume. And if you don't tell them, you know what I'm saying, and you let their minds assume, they're going to assume the worst every time. And I'll let you know one thing, getting a woman to think anything different than what she already thinking is difficult, man. So you might as well go ahead and clear it up for her and communicate effectively, man. Especially y'all men and women, stop playing around with these people's feelings, because if you don't know how you're feeling, you know what I'm saying, let them know that. If you're confused, let them know that. Don't have people sitting here wondering what's going on because you're not quite clear where you're at. Communicate that. Be like, I'll be honest, I like you a lot. Just at this moment, I don't know if I want to date anybody. I don't know if I want to, you know what I'm saying? Be clear. Or if you're ready to move forward, be like, I like you a lot. I think that I'm ready to move forward with things if you are too. But communicate that stuff. Don't leave people confused and you just sitting here playing around with people's emotions. That's a big part of communicating effectively. Man. All right, y'all. Topic two. Now, topic two is this is a big one for me. I might have to sit up for this one. Topic 2 is about being confident in your creation. I'm gonna take a bite of this cake and explain this to y'all, because this is, I think, if for anybody who is a believer in Christ, this will be a big one for you. And if you're not, this is still big for you, because again, you are a wonderful, beautifully made creation. I know here at No Limit Entertainment, we stand very strongly on the word of God. We stand by faith, we speak by faith, and we love to express our faith in our content. And so I think it is very important to make it clear to everybody that, you are wonderfully and beautifully made. I mean, I want you just to take a moment and just think about this, right? No matter how old you are, you have been living for how many years you have been alive. I am 19 years old now. I have been wonderfully kept for 19 years. I mean, I've had my struggles. I've had a fair share of things where I'm just like, dang, man, life has been so tough to me. You know what I'm saying? I've gone through my stuff, but at the end of the day, I am still living and breathing. And if you're watching this, I assume you're living and breathing. If you're not, then we might have to, have a conversation about that. I'm a little confused what you're doing watching my video. Maybe, you're a time traveler, or you're a ghost or something. But at the end of the day, if you're watching this video, most likely you're a living, breathing human being. And that's a blessing. You can never discount how big of a blessing it is to have breath in your lungs. I believe every single breath is another opportunity. And what you do with the opportunity is what's important. You know what I'm saying? You can waste your breath arguing with people all day. Waste your breath sitting around a room playing Minecraft all day, which is not too bad. But you got to get up and do something now. Can't do that every day, even though I want to. But you can waste your breath doing this and that. But what are you going to do with your breath? Because my thing is, I want y'all to understand the fact that you have life, the fact that you have breath means that God has something meant for you. There is a purpose left in your life, because nobody is breathing for no reason. Nobody was made for no reason. Everybody has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? When God formed you in the womb of your parents, you know what I'm saying? When people think about it, there is no one created as an accident. I hear people being like, "Oh, my parents had me by accident." Your parents may have messed around, you know what I'm saying, and boom, pop, here you come. You done popped up. Let you know one thing though, it ain't about your parents, because whether your parents had you on purpose, they planned you or an accident, end of the day, the Bible makes it clear God has a plan, a purpose for you before you were even in the womb of your mother. So forget your parents' plans, because at the end of the day, the only plan that matters is the plan of God, y'all. And so when I think about my life and the things that I'm trying to achieve and the places I'm going, I constantly have to remember that there is a purpose in me. There's a purpose in me because I was created by God. And so if God created me, clearly he didn't create me just to take up space. He created me with a purpose. And so I want you to understand that, you are a wonderfully made creation. You are a wonderfully made creation. And your creation is different from every other creation. You may have similar desires, similar dreams, and there may be some people who are trying to do the same things as you, and maybe they might be a little worse than you at it. They may be a little better than you at it. But at the end of the day, no matter where you stack on the scale of potential or desire, end of the day, there is a role for you in this world, a role for you in this life, and I want you to take confidence in your creation, because whatever reason, whatever purpose you've been formed to live for, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. I mean, just the opportunity to know that God woke you up this morning because there is a purpose on your life is beautiful. And you have to have confidence in that. Every day I go on the football field. Y'all, I'm playing D3 football. I remember just dreaming about playing D1 since I was real young, playing in the NFL, doing all these amazing things. And it can become difficult to want to keep going when you're dealing with injuries. I mean, I've dealt with injuries ever since my senior year of high school. I mean, really my junior year, I've never had a break off of injuries since. And it breaks me down physically and mentally, because I'm like, dude, I feel like I've been built to have all the potential in the world. Mentally, I think I'm there, but physically, I feel like I can't get out of this. I can't be what I want to be, because every single time things seem to start getting where I want to go, it's like something breaks me down. I'm looking around, I'm seeing people my age doing these great things. In 2 years, people my age are going to be next year, people my age are going to be in the NFL. And it's like, what in the world is going on? Like, look at me. I'm just this D3 guy. You know what I'm saying? And it can break down your confidence. And then I remember that beyond my own desires and the purposes I try to fulfill in myself, God had a purpose for me. And so while I'm still coming into that purpose, and I pray that this evangelism is a big piece of it, I understand that God's purpose is much greater than my own. And because he formed, I mean, God doesn't need me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that I can do for God that he couldn't do for himself. And so the fact he made me meant that there's something special that he has for me, something special he wants from me. And the number one thing he desires is relationship with us. And so no matter how big of a failure I may be to the world, no matter how much people may doubt me or whatever, the fact that I have breath today means God has confidence in me. And he has confidence in what he has planned for me. He knows and believes that what he has prepared me for will come to fruition. And so if God has a purpose for you, that means he has a belief in you and in your ability to perform to the standard that he has called you to. And if God believes in you, then who are we to allow the world to make ourselves doubt ourselves? You know what I'm saying? We have to have confidence in our creation. That's what we're made for. We are beautifully, wonderfully made, formed in the wombs of our mothers, birthed into a world with breath in our lungs to come and be a blessing to others. We were blessed to be a blessing. And I mean, who are we to let the world make us doubt or lose confidence in who we've been made to be? And so in your day-to-day life, I want you to look at who you are and what you're trying to be. There's going to be some doors that get shut in your face. And when they shut, you have to be willing sometimes to let the door shut. And the thing is, don't lose hope in life when a door closes. Because like a lot of people will say, but the Bible tells us when one door closes, another one opens. God always makes a way. The problem is, are we going to have faith and confidence in who he's made us enough to be ready and prepared for when that next door opens? Because again, it's not like always once a door closes, another one opens right up. Sometimes you're going to have to be patient and wait. But again, you have to remember, life does not end with this situation. There's going to be another chance, because what? You've been made for a reason. And let's say you make a mistake today. You don't stack up to the standard that you hold yourself to, or you don't attain the goals you've been planning to do. Man, so what? Be disciplined, be tough, you know what I'm saying? Work harder, do better, do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, do not give up on yourself, because again, God has belief and faith in the fact that sure you can pull through, and he knows you can because you have him. He just says rely on him, and he got you, you know? And so if we rely on him, we didn't got to worry about nothing. Is my phone ringing? Y'all, hold up. We're having a mid intersection from Quay. Hello?
What are you doing, boy?
I'm chilling. What are you doing?
Are you in your room?
Yeah, I am.
What up, fellas? What up?
Yeah, blame that. Myself.
Are you doing anything of importance right now?
I'm filming a video right now. What are you doing?
I'm about to go to cookout. I don't want to go myself.
I'll be done with the video in a second. I can come with you after.
How long, bro?
Like 5 minutes.
All right, bro. I'll be in the car waiting for you.
I'll see you in a second.
All right.
Bye-bye. Look at Joey, so needy. Always needs me to do something. But before I go, you know what I'm saying, these videos are, I like doing these videos, y'all, because I feel like when I'm talking to y'all, though y'all aren't responding verbally, like I'm getting a lot off my chest and off my heart that I feel like can help others, and that it really is going in my mind. Because confidence is so important. And as a receiver, I've dealt with moments on and off where in my career, some weeks I'm catching very well, and other weeks I'm like struggling. And I remember in high school, my high school coach always told me, he's like, Bold, he said my name, he's like, Belton, like Belton. I was like, yeah, coach. He always tell me, you need to be catching 100 balls a day. Guys like you who don't have natural hands, y'all need to be catching 100 balls a day. And while he wasn't saying I had the worst hands, he just understood the truth to it. You know, my hands have always been like, they're good at times, but they're inconsistent. There's inconsistencies in how good I can catch. You know, some days I might make one of the greatest catches you see. Other day it's like, what in the world is this guy doing? A lot of that just comes from straight confidence, belief in who God has made me. And I really have been thinking about this because I remember there was one day all my friends are going to these parties. So I go check in with my friends, see how they're doing. I'm kind of just following them around. And one of my boys, he pulls me out of the room. He's like, hey, Bo, talk to me. I said, okay. And he starts talking to me about, you know, like, sometimes we doubt ourselves because we look at ourselves in the mirrors and realize that, you know, we just see us. We see us and we see our flaws and the things that we've been messing up with, you know, especially if we've been having an off week. It's like, man, look at me, man. I ain't worth much. I can't do much. Because, you know, a lot of people may see the highs of your life, but, you know, you see all of it. You know, you see your highs and your lows. And when no one can be a bigger critic than yourself, you know what I'm saying? Especially because you know your insecurities better than anybody else. And sometimes knowing your own insecurities can cause you to kind of fear the insecurities popping out and showing themselves in your life. And so you can have all the potential in the world, all the skill in the world. You can see who God has made you. You can know all the great things about yourself, but just that little inkling of doubt, that little bit of fear, because you kind of lack a little bit of confidence in the ability God has given you, can cause you to not hit the potential, not hit the ceiling of where God has called you to be. And so if I can tell you anything about having confidence in your creation, it's not about being confident because you're him. You know, a lot of people say, I'm him. And you know what I'm saying? You are a wonderful creation. You know what I'm saying? You are you. And that is all that matters. So you don't got to be him or her. Just be who God has made you to be. And the thing is, it's not about having confidence in yourself. It's about having confidence in God. Because when you think about who God is, he is perfect. And God don't make mistakes. But he made you. And so if God don't make mistakes and he made you, what does that say about your creation? You're blessed. You're wonderful. You are amazing. And no matter what anybody else tells you, and especially the devil, because he wants you to hate yourself. Because when you hate yourself, you won't operate in what God has called you to be. But guess what? Today, you're going to have confidence in your creation because I love you, my brother and sister. And I want you to do amazing and great things. And I want to do amazing and great things. And I ain't going to let nobody hold me back. And I don't want anybody to hold you back. But the number one person who can hold us back from the things that God has called for us to have in life is ourselves. Nobody can hold us back more than ourselves. So you have to have confidence in your creation. Look in the mirror today and just be like, God, I know who you made me to be. And so no matter how I'm feeling, I'm going to have confidence today. No matter how much I mess up today, I'm going to have confidence in the fact that I'm going to get it right. I'm going to have confidence that we're going to do better. I'm going to have confidence that we going to make it through the day. I'm going to be confident in everything I do because I've been made by you. We're not worried about nothing, man. Because we're confident in our creation. Well, y'all, man, that's about all I got for y'all today. 2 topics, man. The video right now is about 30 minutes. I don't know how short it'll be when y'all see it, but I'm really enjoying this. I enjoy talking to y'all, and I pray that y'all interact with me down in the comments, man. Y'all see my Instagram here. I know y'all see the TikTok. I gotta do better at posting on it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta post some shorts on YouTube. But at the end of the day, man, I really do pray that y'all enjoy this video, man. If y'all enjoyed the video, though, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I pray you enjoy the vibe, man. Hey, and remember, above and beyond all things, Jesus loves you. Hey, no limit. Is it over yet?
Youngin' when it move straight out of state, ain't coming back. They call me Alex at the crib, but they be on the track. My homie Dorothy